Hey everyone, Michael Martin from Yahoo Esports here at Southeast Asia Majors. Joining me is Mike Ross and Zhieeep, hot off the commentators table. We got to see a lot of intense Street Fighter V action this weekend. First of all, let me ask you, how you feeling?
Right now, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah. You look a little tired.
Oh, yeah, I mean, tired is state of mind.
Okay.
My body is good. That's all that matters. Feeling good right now.
Yeah.
16-hour flight. I'm not going to get too late, jet lagged from it. But the matches were hype enough to keep me up. Still going strong right now. I probably got like another hour or two left in me before I just collapse.
Did you get a nap like this guy did? He was over there sleeping on the floor.
I don't know.
Well, I also came on that 16.5-hour flight, but the matches were hyping up to sort of combat any of the jet lag that I had.
So before we get into today, I actually want to get your guys' impressions of the Pro Tour overall. We're getting close to, I guess, crunch time. A lot of things have happened this year. Maybe just give us your general impression of how you think the Pro Tour has, or what's gone on with the Pro Tour this year.
Man, 2016 just seems like a much more difficult year to qualify than last year. And you just have all these players scrambling, literally playing Carmen Sandiego, hopscotching around the world, trying to get these points. And it happens every year. I think it's epidemic to the FGC to be a bit tardy, but after EVO, there's this sudden realization that a lot of the top players didn't have enough points to be guaranteed, and you see a mad scramble towards the latter half, and so that's sort of been the narrative, at least post-EVO for me.
Anybody that hasn't qualified is not surprising.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a new game.
Yeah.
So, we don't know exactly who's capable of what yet.
Yeah.
The only thing that really surprised me was dude that beat Infiltration 4 straight rounds at ESL.
Okay.
I know that's not that's not Pro Tour necessarily related.
Right.
But it kind of does play into that because that's what he's trying to get into, right?
Sure.
And the fact that I saw that, for me, in 2016, that's the most impressive performance that I've seen thus far.
Yeah.
Not really surprised, but more happy to see the resurgence of Justin just in top peak condition. I wasn't around the scene during his Marvel days, so I didn't get to see that glorious 10-year win streak or whatever.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
But I did get to see it, in the beginning of Street Fighter 4 when they were just running amok with the Rufai and the twin-headed snake. But now you just see him playing on another level, on top of all his other duties as an employee, as a family guy, as a son, as a boyfriend. He's juggling all these roles. He's got like sick-ass social media game. He's got all the dope food joints, and yet he's still able to maintain such a high level of play. I'm just super impressed by Justin right now.
Speaking of Justin, since you brought that up, he's just been dominating like North America and other regions too. I guess I could come out and say it. Can he beat Japan? Can he beat Asia?
Absolutely. He did it already, right? In Manila Cup, right? He beat Kazunoko and such, so it's definitely possible. Yes, there's a lot of killers, right? There's a lot of great players. Can he beat them all? I say absolutely.
Sure.
Will he? We don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I don't want to take character matchups into any account. I just want to talk about the player.
Yeah.
And I will say definitely he has the potential to beat anybody. He can beat everybody. Anybody that says he can't, it's obviously crazy, you know. It's just, what did he have for breakfast that morning, right? It's like really that kind of thing. Did he wake up happy? Did he wake up confident? Only time will tell, but we're all going to be excited. I'm going to be rooting for him, and we'll see what he can do.
He beat Daigo at EVO. He won Manila Cup, which was a pretty stacked tournament. It's like, what more do you want from him?
Yeah.
The three of us here sitting on this couch know that he's a great player and know that he's outstanding. And it's kind of interesting that you have to bring it up because the only shred of negativity that he receives is actually from America, right? They're the only players that hate on him and say that he's ass, right? You go anywhere across the world, they see him as the biggest threat. They know he's great. They study him. They do everything they can to beat him. So he's actually, so to answer your question, yes, he can beat anybody, and everybody outside of America knows that he can beat anybody. So it's kind of interesting.
So today, we got to go through some amazing matches, a killer, a Shark Tank these pulls were just crazy? Or what stood out for you the most?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Z already knows what I'm probably going to say. You probably do as well. The biggest thing for me was watching XYZZY.
Can we just call him like X Yeezy?
XYZZ. All right. The biggest thing
I
for
don't know.
me. The biggest thing for me was watching Yeezy do his thing up there. You know, he did his thing. It's, you know, I love Birdie.
Yeah.
I used to play Birdie. I still play Birdie. Okay, look, hold on. I don't play anybody. All right. Yeah,
I was gonna say I saw some tweets while you were on commentary, like, who do you play? Do you play?
Yeah, I'm like,
okay.
I can't. It doesn't matter what I think because
Okay.
people that listen are like, shut up, you don't play anybody, you suck. So I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, okay, that's fine. So I don't play anybody, but I do like watching Birdie, and I do like watching, you know, Birdie players take them to the next level.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything like that. I think he was the most impressive player that I saw this weekend, and I can't wait to see what he does the rest of this tournament. You know, it's not concluded yet.
Sure.
We'll find out soon.
For me, it wasn't a particular player, but just the performance and level of the Amateur Cup.
Oh yeah.
I think that's evidence that the industry and the community at large is now thinking about the next step. As you know, people can see the next 3-5 year horizon. We're all going to become extinct as dinosaurs if we don't plant the seeds of the future. And you see a lot of players with foresight doing so. So Infiltration was on the stage the entire time, coaching a lot of the younger Korean players. He obviously gave them a sense of calm, and Yeezy performed exceptionally well under his tutelage. Mochi brought some of his students over.
Okay.
So I think we're beginning to see the future, and it looks like it's in great hands, and I hope that's the case.
This is a new art. This is a new form study. Who are going to be the gray hair, you know, the long beard guys that are the wizards and wisdom guys passing down this historic knowledge? This is, you know, Daigo, Umehara, you know, Umehara-san, whatever. He knows all this wizardry of DPs. We need to climb the top of the mountain, right, to learn what is the Ume
How
sword,
do we bottle that?
Only he knows,
Yeah.
and Bonchan won't tell us. He says you have to go seek out the master, right? Like we're gonna.
And he switched characters.
Right, yeah, we're gonna get to that point 30 years from now, right? Granted, we're all still breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like what Z was touching upon. It was great just to see the amateur tournament and seeing the guys that we see as peers now be mentors to a whole new generation. It's super awesome.
I'm pretty impressed with, I guess, the turnout of amateur tournaments. Here, there's been some in the U.S., of course. I think Red Bull's put some on. And yeah, I think in some regions, it's interesting to look at how, especially in Japan, and I think that's why some of these, you know, graybeards have taken these guys under their wing, because that they don't have that younger generation that, like, you know, we got in the U.S. with Street Fighter 4.
Right.
It appealed to, you know, a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You know, old schoolers came back. You got the young kids like the Knuckle Dudes and whatnot that showed up. And in Japan, they didn't really have that.
Right.
And so now they're trying to, you know, build that up with Street Fighter 5.
You know, like even with Street Fighter 4, we can say since that was such a new era, there was no younger generation. There was the only generation.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
we were kind of all lumped into one category, young and old. But I think now with Street Fighter 5, there's a clear distinction between a next generation.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it now, so I don't know, I'm super excited.
Since you guys brought up Infiltration and the Koreans, I think one of the most impressive things to me was watching the Koreans play. And I joked with Infiltration earlier. I was like, man, you are on stage, you know, forever today.
You never got off.
Not playing. I think he qualified early. I think he was in the early pools. But yeah, he was on stage coaching these guys. NL beat Haitani. I was really impressed with that match. Not sure if you guys saw that one, but I was really impressed with that match. Yeezy, just all those guys look like they're playing super well, getting some good coaching, some good advice, mentorship. And I don't know if you know this, but Infiltration was talking about earlier about how a lot of those guys he didn't even know before seeing, really. Like they were coming here and he was just like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing and let's do this together.
That's even sick. That's super sick. That's super awesome.
I mean, just to hear that they are going to form the Voltron and squad up is a very scary thing, because I think, you know, Korea has always been a country rife with talent, but it's been their fragmentation that has caused often, you know, that's the only thing stopping them from their dominance. Once they establish that type of cohesion, I'm very scary with what their entire squad is about to do.
Any other matches you guys saw that kind of caught your eye? I mean, like I said, the NL Haitani one, Bonchan beating Kazunoko. I think Bonchan's been coming on strong lately after the character switch and putting in some work.
Yeah, I'm honestly going to say one of the more impressive ones was literally watching Yeezy
Yes.
defeat Yukadan
Yeah.
with birdie. That's
Sent him
Nash,
to losers.
yeah.
Yukadan ended up
Right.
qualifying through losers.
Yeah, Nash birdie is not a matchup in favorable of birdie. Anybody who thinks that can literally kiss my anus. I'll censor myself from there. But you know, it's a tough match.
Yeah.
Nash just has too much zoning potential.
Yeah.
And if you watch what he did in that matchup to defeat Yukadan, he just went. Like, he was like, I don't want to say nuts like in a stupid way.
Sure.
It was all the right things. He said, I'm going to dive, I'm going to dive, I'm going to command grab. Like, he never stopped to think of what to do. He just had a plan and stuck with it.
I think you said it best during commentary when you were like, he adapted to the moment. Like, not just from round to round, but like to the moment.
Yeah, he was just on the fly. He's like, okay, screw this. What do you want to do? This is what you want? Well, I'm going to do this. Try to keep up with me, homeboy. Like, it was super sick.
Yeah, I was impressed by Irian play today, by RB and Kutex.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's a glimpse of the tournament potential of that character, since Zhieep is the first premiere that Irian is a tournament legal character.
Yeah.
So despite all those crazy combo videos that were coming out during the first week and just polluting everyone's timelines on Twitter, I think the lack of a viable anti-air in a game where jumping in is so critical to success is going to be the critical flaw in him. And I saw signs of that today from both players.
Last question for you guys. How good was that fried chicken that you were eating earlier on stream?
And exit stage right.
He is going to get more of that fried chicken.
There was no evidence of any fried chicken consumed as far as I'm concerned. Those, I can neither confirm nor deny that.